Okay, so this is a meeting of the Maintenance and Development Subcommittee meeting of the City Council. We are going to be meeting on two items that have been referred to committee. The parking, no parking along Hill Street. First item, the order accepting an easement from American International College for furtherance of the city's bike share program. So why don't we start with you then?
Yeah, I mean, I think
This meeting, we can refer these items to the October 4th regular meeting.
I think I'm allowed to share my screen here. I just have the map here. Everybody can see this.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So again, this is simply for the acceptance of an easement that's going to be on AIC property. AIC has agreed to this easement at no cost to the city. I think they're even going to install the pad. This is the new Colacino building here on the corner of State and Oak Grove. So we're simply looking for a 40 by 10 foot easement. This is would be a concrete pad that would be installed along with the electrical connections, because in the city's bike share program, they're actually electric bikes that need to be recharged. So when you put them into the station, they get recharged. So we, in addition to the concrete pad, we do need electrical power. I know there was some, when this was brought up at the last meeting, there was some concerns around bike share and COVID. We did check in with the operator of the bike share, and they did indicate to us that when the bikes are kind of reorganized, because they, over the day, bikes get moved from one station to another, so the bike share company has to actually come in and distribute them back throughout the city. They are all wiped down. So that is at least done. I do have to say, though, I think it's important to remember that, in addition to Springfield, Chicopee, Holyoke, Northampton, all the ones that are participating in Valley Bike, those bike programs are all up and operating, most of which were operating during the height of COVID. You could say the same for the larger bike share programs in Boston, New York, San Francisco. So all the bike share programs themselves have all been operating for the most part during COVID. So I don't believe there was a huge issue with that. But again, at the end of the day, we can have further discussions about when the actual bikes get installed. If there are concerns still around bike share, although, and again, you need to remember that in addition to this one, there already are 12 bike share stations that are all up and operating today. This is an attempt to kind of, when we started bike share, it was specifically kind of around the downtown. This is an attempt to kind of bring bike share out into the community, and we're hoping to continue to do that. The bike share program has been really successful in Springfield, so I think this is an additional 3 stations we're trying to get installed. So this is just one of them. We think this is a great location right in front of the college, and again, it's an easement that AIC is providing to the city to be able to install these bikes. So at the end of the day, I think it's a good thing, and we're just hoping to get that approved.
Okay. So the AIC will be doing this with no cost to the city?
Right. They're providing us with the easement, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they're also going to install the concrete pad. And again, after that, there's no cost besides the, well, there is a cost to the city to run the program, but I don't believe because of this easement.
Okay. Is there a fee to use the bikes?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but you can become a member, and then you pay a certain fee and you're allowed to use the bikes. If you're just someone who wants to, is at Union Station and wants to hop on a bike, you can put in your card and you do get charged for the amount of time that you use it. I don't think it's an extensive fee, but there is a fee to use bikes. That's the same, most bike share systems. You get charged while you're using them. I think it's an hourly operation, and then as soon as we install the bike at a different bike share station, your time stops.
Okay, so in order for this bike share, and what is the actual address of where it is?
Let me find that real quick. Second.
And while you're looking for that, all that is needed for this to get up and running is approval from the city council?
Right, and then the easement will then allow the city to, or AIC to move forward with installing the concrete pad.
Okay,
And
all
I
right.
believe the easement is at 1,000 State Street is what it comes up as on the GIS.
Okay, all right. I'm going to open it up to my fellow councilors. Jesse Letterman is a voting member of this committee. Jesse, did you have some concerns?
No, I didn't, Madam Chair. I'm excited about the installation. I just wanted to ask Phil, what's the timeline for the installation on this one, and where are the other two? I assume the other two don't require easements, so they probably won't.
No, I think the other two are actually going to be located in parks. I apologize. I don't, Marcus, who had come to the original meeting, is not here today. So I told him I would step in, but I believe one's going in the north end, but I think the two other bike shares are going in parks. So I believe that's why, they've been approved through the Park Commission.
Yeah, I think they're a great resource, and now that we've got confirmation too that they're at least getting some sanitation, probably sounds like on a daily basis, and also given what we know about, I know there was some concern about it with the COVID numbers, but given what we know about the spread of COVID being primarily airborne as opposed to on surfaces, I'm comfortable with this. So at the appropriate time, I'd make a motion that we voted out a committee within a positive recommendation.
Perfect. And I do see, I believe we're joined by Councilor Fenton, who's also a member of this committee. Mike, are you on?
I'm here. Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Did you have some comments or concerns about the bike share at AIC?
I think it's appropriate to make a positive motion and put it back to the vote.
Okay, perfect. Councilor Gomez? Do you have any questions or concerns?
No, I definitely agree with it. My family members use them and they're delighted with it to get around. So I think it's a great mode of transportation for our citizens within the city. So I'm 100% behind it.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I think that ends this discussion, and Councilor Letterman, if you'd like to make that as a motion, we can refer it out of committee.
Yes, I move that we refer the easement out of committee with positive recommendation.
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Fenton. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay, and this will be referred out for the October 4th meeting. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I see that we have been joined by Chris Signoli. Chris, we took the items out of order.
That's not fair.
That's because you were late.
You weren't here. And I know you wanted to screen share. Thanks, Phil. So we'll get back to the first item, which is the no parking on Long Hill Street.
Yep.
I'll open it up to you first. Ed, are you joining us for any of these issues?
I'm here as needed.
Okay, thank you.
On Long Hill Street, at the corner of Long Hill and Sumner, there's a very big apartment building. For those of you who ever drive down Sumner Avenue, there's a big problem with parking and access and everything along that building. The parking wraps around on Sumner Avenue and goes down Long Hill Street to a point about here where after this becomes private property in that area. The problem and the request that came in was from the management company running this building, that when they do trash, what they do is they have about 30 or 40 barrels that they put out on a weekly basis. They put them out Monday afternoon for Tuesday morning pickup. The DPW does not pick it up. They go through, I believe it's Waste Management picks up their stuff, or Republic, I'm not sure. So what they would be doing is they put barrels out wherever there's no cars, and cars move them So some of the barrels never get picked up. So I'm sorry, Catering, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was happening there.
Yeah, so what happens is when they come to pick up the barrels, they're moved all over the place by the residents who want to park. So what the request was from a point approximately here for about 30 something feet for an area of no parking on Monday from noon to Tuesday at noon, for them to put their barrels out in this particular area. They come out through the back, they put them here, and they sit there Monday evening, and then Tuesday when they're picked up, they roll them back. So the no parking request is for basically, we have a 5 or 10 foot clearance here, and then it's a 20-foot parking space. So we're really losing, a parking space and a half in that area for the 24 hours. We did it as a trial so that the signs are out there now. It's been working okay. We haven't had any issues out there with that. And my only complaint has been is sometimes the barrels sit out there for a while, late Tuesday. So they get collected now. They get collected by noon. But that is the request. So for 24 hours, Monday at noon to Tuesday at noon, 32 feet here of no parking in order to put the barrels out for collection.
Well, that seems reasonable, but looking at living near there and seeing the parking on Sumner and Long Hill, do you think it's going to be successful, or do you think people park there?
No, it's been fine, because we did it as a trial. So we put it in probably 4 or 5 months ago, maybe even a little bit longer. And there hasn't been any issues. And just further, counselors, just to move up, as you know, on Sumner Avenue, it's a problem with the cars parked here.
Right.
When we do Long Hill Street, we're actually going to be doing a minor widening here at Sumner Avenue that's going to push some areas out so that we can get a better room for turns around this corner, and B, some area there for parking. So hopefully in the next year or two, when we're able to do Long Hill Street, we're going to do the widening there. So we'll be able to clean up that parking a little bit. This is where they would kind of put out some barrels everywhere out there. But yeah, the parking really hasn't been too much of an issue. Right when that was done, we did get requests from 2 of these homeowners. Excuse me, I think it might have been just this one, for no parking in front of their house. And that was granted as well. And that was approved by the council, I don't know, probably 8 months, a year ago, because they were having a lot of problems with people from the building kind of blocking their driveways here. So we put up some signage for corner clearances. So that whole area has kind of been taken care of. But back to your question, this area where they've been doing the barrels has been extremely successful for them, and they've been happy for it.
Oh, well, it'd be great to clear up some of that congestion.
Yeah.
Councilor Letterman, I know you've spoken on this issue.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I had asked for this to go to committee because I had received some outreach from another abutter, I think not the one directly next door, but a couple houses down, who also is a property or a condo owner in one of the units, not in the building that is serviced by Waste Management, but the one next door over. And I think their concern was relative to the lack of parking now created along that stretch, because none of those buildings have parking. They're all right. Such historic buildings. They weren't built with parking. So they were very concerned about it. They felt like it was just going to create more of an issue in the neighborhood for the parking situation. I did reach out to them this morning. Unfortunately, they weren't able to attend the meeting, but given that it's been in place now for several months, what I'll do is I'll reach out to them before the October meeting. I think you know them too, Councilor Walsh. I'll reach out to them before the October meeting and just check in to see what their thoughts are now.
Okay.
And like I said, Councilor, it's only for one evening. It's for, basically a space and a half. So it's not like it's the whole section and, that sort of thing. So we're dealing with, 1, maybe 2 cars in that area for one evening.
Okay.
It does seem reasonable.
Yeah.
Councilor Fenton? do you have any questions or concerns?
No, all sounds very reasonable to me.
Oh, I think so too. How about you, Councilor Gomez? I can't see, I don't think we need the screen sharing anymore.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. Councilor Gomez?
Right, have we had any non-compliances while we have been doing this test? Anybody got a ticket?
Early on, the property owner did. It was all people who lived there, so he was able to track people down and get them to move.
Great.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't do any towing, we're not getting into that business of doing that. So he's able to contact the owners and get them to move their vehicles when they need to. But other than that, there's been great compliance. They really haven't had too many problems.
Oh, good.
Because during the day, it's usually pretty empty when he puts the stuff out. So it's really not too much of a problem.
Okay. Well, I think this is a good meeting. I think we're going to be successfully recommending things for the entire council. Ed, you're in that neighborhood sometimes. You have any comments or concerns?
Thanks for asking. Counselor, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And if you want my opinion on the bikes, I'm with the sergeant.
Okay.
I agree.
And I'm happy to hear, Chris, because I know some of the people that live opposite that building on Long Hill Street have had a lot of trouble, frequent trouble with cars crashing into their, particularly the ambassador who
Yes.
Every once in a while you go by and you see where somebody has crashed into their post and their gates there. So I'm happy you're going to be able to do that. And the new traffic pattern on Fort Pleasant, I think that you did a great job there.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we haven't gotten any complaints on that yet, but I'm sure we will.
Well, the first time I did it, it was a little confusing because I didn't know it was going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
They did all of that
figure out-
painting basically in one night. So all of a
Right.
sudden it's nothing and then it's there. So.
Yeah, it's good. So, okay, so would someone want to make a motion on the no parking along Hill Street? Jesse or Mike?
I move that we refer it back to the full body.
Okay, is there
Second.
second, first and second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so we will move this with a positive recommendation to the October 4th regular city council meeting. Any other issues or concerns to be brought up to maintenance and development?
I just had a quick question, Madam Chair, if appropriate,
Okay.
for since we have Chris and Ed here. Chris, I know we had talked about that stop sign, and you had referred over the resident petition, but is it
Yes.
not appropriate for us to just refer? Can we just refer orders to the Traffic Commission for review so that we don't have to go through the whole 15-person signature petition?
No, I need a petition. And the only reason I'm saying that, well, A, we need a petition. B, over the last, I'm going to say a couple years, I've gotten some requests from counselors to do things like that. And when we've done them, they've backfired. And when I say backfired, all of a sudden I find out that there's a handful of people who live in a particular area that don't want something. And I just want to make sure by getting the petition that if we then do it and some people are unhappy, I can then say we followed all the petition rules, we did it the correct way, and it was completed. I have absolutely no problem doing it as a trial, so getting it installed right away is not a problem. But one of the things that I want to make sure is that enough of the people in that particular area are for it versus it being one or two people that like it. And when it comes to four-way stop signs, it's usually universally approved, but we did one last year on, I think it was Sherman Street, and at the request of Councilor Hurst. And it was like all of a sudden the people in the neighborhood came out of the woodwork saying they didn't want it. So that was a little concern that, we kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
Well, I can appreciate wanting to get folks on board, but legally, is it permissible to place it on the agenda and refer it to the Traffic Commission solicitor?
I don't see why not. I'll defer here with your best judgment because, that's really one of your rules. And, the council can waive your own rules. I don't
That's
think,
fair.
Yeah,
that was my feeling. Chris, I think as a best practice, I agree with you. And so, I mean, in this case, I'll do it. But I just wanted to get clarification for future issues. But on this one, I think they're all in favor of it. There's been a lot of accidents over there, so we'll follow up with the petition for
Yeah,
that
no,
one.
that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, when I get the petition, I can do it as a trial right away, even while it's going to the, I mean, what happens is we do it as a trial and then it does not go to the traffic commission until we're done with the trial.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that just makes it easier. And then if people are against it, it still goes through that trial period.
Right.
And then we, over the, some people are against it right away. And then after 3 months, they're happy with it.
Okay.
So,
I didn't want to belabor me. I was going to email you back. Okay.
no, we get it. That's something we can do right away. That's not a
Thank
problem.
you for the indulgence, Madam Chair.
Oh, no, I think these are the issues that make a lot of difference to people. They're definitely quality of life issues. So if there are no more issues or concerns, the 2 items that were posted, we've taken care of and are going to make a favorable recommendation for it. I will end this meeting. Thank you all for joining us.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for being here.